after thy will. While I am waiting, yielded and still, have thine own way, Lord, have thine own way. Search me and try me, Master, today. Whiter than snow, Lord, wash me just now, as in thy presence humbly I bow. Have thine own way, Lord, have thine own way. Wounded and weary, help me, I pray. Power, all power, surely is thine. Touch me and heal me, Savior divine. Have thine own way, Lord, have thine own way. Over my being, absolute sway. Fill with thy Spirit, till all shall be Christ only, always living in me. All right, our next hymn will be hymn 54, Great is Thy Faithfulness, all three verses. Great is thy faithfulness, O God my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever wilt be. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hands have provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Summer and winter and springtime and harvest, sun, moon, and stars in their courses above, join with all nature in manifold witness to thy great faithfulness, mercy, and love. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. With all I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Pardon for sin and the peace that endureth. Thine own dear presence to cheer and to guide. strength for today and bright hope for tomorrow. Blessings all mine with 10,000 beside. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. And all I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me.
Well, evidently, I didn't get the last verse of Have Thine Own Way in there, so Riker did a good job of just blanking the screen out. Before I start the children's sermon, just issue with the elephant in the room. As you know, someone that has COVID went to Calvary Temple last Sunday. We need to be wise in doing what God would have us do here. Or we may end up with issues with kids at Vacation Bible School. We may end up with issues with some parents dealing with their kids. Vacation Bible School, not so much when it comes from the teaching point of view, but from the safety point of view, which is why we're doing Bible School the way we're doing it. We don't need the wisdom of Solomon, we need the wisdom of God. And issues that will come up and things that will come both this week and the weeks to come, in the months to come. So remember Calvary Temple, they have gone to live stream over the next 2-3 weeks. And we may do what is wise. I recognize not we've done, but the wisdom that only God can show. Now to the children's sermon. This is a battery. It doesn't matter how good your toy is or how expensive your phone is or how great your tablet is. You don't have a battery in it, it doesn't work. Your toy can be better than any other, and it can do all sorts of stuff. But if it doesn't have a battery in it, it's of no use for what it was intended to do at all. Paul said, you can be the greatest guy in the world. You can give more than anybody else gives. You can have faith to move mountains, to do all amazing things. But if you don't have love, you got nothing. It doesn't matter how good it looks on the outside. If you don't have the love God has in you, you got nothing. It determines how you treat your friends. Determines how well you obey your parents. It determines all these other aspects of your life, because without love you are as, this is a bad way to put it maybe, you're ultimately as useless as a toy without the batteries. Only God can give that kind of love. The best thing about that is God wants to do it every moment of every day. And His love is unlimited. You ever had your toy or something, batteries go dead on them, and you ask your mom or your dad batteries, and they've run out? God never runs out of His love. It is always more and more and more. I'm grateful that He gives us that love so that we can have a special kind of life God intends us to have. Let's pray. Lord, thank you that you give us what we need most. Thank you when we need most your love. Give it to us. Not just we can love you back. We can love others. Help us to love others that way. In your name I pray. Amen.
Next song will be hymn number 5, How Great is Our God. The splendor of the King, clothed in majesty, let all the earth rejoice, let all the earth rejoice. He wraps himself in light, and darkness tries to hide. It trembles at his voice, it trembles at his voice. How great is our God! Sing with me, how great is our God! And all will see how great is our God. And age to age he stands, and time is in his hands, beginning and the end, beginning and the end. The Godhead three in one, Father, Spirit, Son, the Lion and the Lamb, the Lion and the Lamb. How great is our God! Sing with me, how great is our God! And all will see how great is our God! Name above all names, worthy of all praise. My heart will sing, how great is our God. Let's sing that. How great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God, and all will see how great is our God. All right. Now we'll sing hymn 281, Speak to My Heart, all 3 verses. Speak to my heart, Lord Jesus. Speak that my soul may hear. Speak to my heart, Lord Jesus. Calm every doubt and fear. Speak to my heart, oh, speak to my heart. Speak to my heart, I pray. Yielded and still, seeking thy will. Oh, speak to my heart today. Speak to my heart, Lord Jesus. Purge me from every sin. Speak to my heart, Lord Jesus. Help me the lost to win.
That's not a bad prayer to start off a morning with, is it? Man, what a great song. It is time now for our offering. So if you'd like to give an offering, we'll have an offering plate back in the foyer. As you're leaving, you can put money in if you wish, or you can give online at fbcyril.org, or come by, mail it to the church at Post Office Box 153, Cyril 73029. Or you can come by the church, drop it off there. It will get where it needs to go. Now let's continue in worship as Dane plays Prelude. That plays offertory. Scripture passage this morning is Psalm 27, verses 1 through 3. I continue in a series on Psalms 20 through 29. Written again by David, no one knows when, but it's one of those psalms that could have been written any number of times with the difficulties that David faced. Psalm 27, starting with the first verse. Lord is my light and salvation. Whom shall I fear? Lord is the defense of my life. Whom shall I dread? When evildoers come upon me to devour my flesh, my adversaries and my enemies, they stumbled and fell. Though a host encamp against me, my heart will not fear. Though war arise against me, in spite of this, I shall be confident. Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Lord is the defense of my life. Whom shall I dread? Well, actually, a lot of us could write a whole lot of stuff on there on whom shall I fear. There's a lot of stuff to be afraid of out there. Snakes being at the very top of the list. It is looking at everything that comes to us in life. with the uncertainties of the future. David wasn't saying, I've got nothing to be afraid of, or I've got nothing to dread. He simply said, because I know who my light and my salvation is, should I fear? Should I fear? Because I've got God who shows me light and who is the one that can save me, because he is the one who defends my life, who should I dread? And it's almost as if David is saying, throw anything out there. Throw anything. Why should I fear that? Because God is my light and my salvation. Things could happen in the future. There's some struggles out there, some problems out there. And David says, because God defends me, who should I dread? The answer for David was nothing. God is there. It is a matter of having enough confidence in who God is and who God has said he is, that we are able to look at that and be able to say there is nothing to fear, nothing to dread. Paul put it differently. If God is for us, who can be against us? And he backed that up by saying, who shall condemn us? God sent his Son down to save us. He sacrificed his Son. How shall he not also freely give us all things? If God is for me, who gave his Son for me, who can be against me? What circumstance can come against me that an almighty, all-powerful, all-loving God cannot take care of? It isn't a matter of saying there's some bountiful things out there, some struggles I've got, some things going on there. The question is, do I see God as who he really is, or do I see my problems? Which one takes control? For David it was my light and my salvation. One who defends me. For Paul was, if God is for me, who can be against me? Now those are easy words to say. They are a little more difficult to live out, more important to live out maybe than just about anything else that's there. We are facing something that it doesn't matter how old you are with this one, we've never faced before. And what I like is, and you know this, if they cancel football season, I'm having a problem with that one. I don't care how many of you have to die for that. We are facing things we never thought we would before. Do I really, really, really believe he is my light and my salvation? He is my defender. Do I really, really, really believe God is for me, against me? And that can be one against me. We face an uncertainty that we've never had before, because everyone that's made predictions have been wrong. Everyone who thought that they could figure it out has been proven wrong. We are in a situation where if we don't have that sense of the certainty of who God is, there is fear. We're in a situation right now that if we aren't sure who our defender is, there is dread for the future. We also have a God. We don't know that he is for us. That which is against us becomes overwhelming, unless we know who God is. So David in verse 2 says, when evildoers come upon me to devour my flesh, my adversaries and my enemies, he stumbled and fell. And this verse 3, Though a host encamp against me, my heart will not fear. Though war arise against me, in spite of this, I shall be confident. The host here is an army. Though an army encamp against me. Now, I don't think that David is some sort of philosophical dealings with this now. He's talking about if a real-life, honest-goodness army comes against me. Not what if situations come upon me, what if, this army of emotion comes on me. This was David saying, though an army encamp against me, my heart, I will not fear. Though war arise against me. Now, my translation has in spite of this, and most of them do, but the spite of is not in there. It just simply says, in this I will be confident. This word for confident means to be secure, be unconcerned. Though an army come against me, though they wage war against me, I am secure. I am confident because I know who my light and my salvation is. After David dies, Solomon becomes king. Then his son, and his son, and his son, and his son. I'm acting like I really know what I'm talking about here, but I don't. And his son, and his son, and his son. And then we have Hezekiah. I think I got all the generations right there. If not, so what? We have Hezekiah. Hezekiah was a man who followed God. During Hezekiah's reign, the northern kingdom of Israel was defeated by the Assyrians, slaughtered. And the ones that they didn't slaughter, they just spread them out all over the place. And then they came south. They laid siege and defeated to some of the smaller walled cities of Judah. The Assyrians were at the forefront being able to lay siege. They were really good at it. They were high-tech siege layers. So now they come against Jerusalem with close to 200,000 warriors. They lay siege to it. This story is so important. It's told in 2 Kings, told in 2 Chronicles, it's told in Isaiah. Rabshakeh, which is a great name, which is why my wife didn't let me name our kids. Rabshakeh is an emissary from the king of Assyria. And he comes to the walls of Jerusalem and proclaims to them, who do you think you are? What nation has stood against Assyria? So what nation stood against my king? All the gods that they have? Why do you have confidence in this God? All the other gods have fallen. We've burned them. They are no more. It was so powerful that Hezekiah sent his emissaries out and said, no, don't speak this in Hebrew. Speak it in a language that we understand, but the people don't. And the guy says, why shouldn't they understand what I'm saying? They're the ones that are going to have the problem. Literally what he said is, they're the ones who are going to have to eat their own dung. Why shouldn't they hear what's going to happen to them? But if you surrender, none of this will happen. The emissaries take the letter from the king of Assyria, bring it to Hezekiah. Takes the letter, goes across to the temple, lays it out before the altar, says, oh God, what he writes here is true. They have destroyed everything. They have laid waste the other gods, but you are the one true God. Isaiah comes to him and says, God has heard your prayer. The king will go back the way that he came and eventually will die by the hand of his sons. God will deliver you. God sent one angel killed 185,000 Assyrian soldiers. Those that were left made their way back to Nineveh. A while later, 2 or 3 years later, King Sennacherib was killed by 2 of his sons. The reason I mention that story, in those 3 stories, this word for confidence is used 20 times. Some by Rabshakeh, saying, why do you put your confidence in this? Or by Hezekiah, said, I will be confident in you. Though an army encamp against me, my heart will not fear. Though war rises against me, in this I will be confident. Not the situation, not the problem. It is whenever I have that sense of that certainty of who He is and who He is in my life that makes all the difference in the world with how I face the circumstances. And then David ended it, and I didn't put this in here, but verses 13 and 14, since you're already at chapter 27, I would have despaired unless I had believed that I would see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Yes, wait for the Lord. I would have despaired if I hadn't believed in Him, the land of the living. Then he says something here in this last verse twice. Wait for the Lord. I've told you this, but I take Ruth to eat barbecue in Chickasha every Mother's Day. That's not her gift. Her gift is I never complain about the line. I made this commitment to her, and I have followed through with this commitment. Never complain. I want to. I never complain. I hate to wait. I hate to wait. If I see a line at a restaurant, it's not that good. I don't care what they've got going on. It's, amen, there you go. Preach on. It is, and to wait in a waiting room, an awful name for a room. Have to wait in a waiting room with magazines that are falling apart, with stuff and listening to conversations I don't care to hear. I just sit there and wait. It is a waste of life. Wait. David twice here. At the end of this, it says, God is my light and my salvation. He is my deliverer. Though an army encamp against me, though they wage war against me, I will not fear. I know who God is. Therefore, he says twice, wait for the Lord. This word for wait is not the same meaning it has for a waiting room. It was used of a soldier and of an army prepared for battle, waiting for the orders. It was an army. They have gone through their training and they continue to train. They continue to make sure that their spears are sharp and their swords are keen, that they're ready to go. So that whenever the king says it's time to go, there's no waiting, there's no struggle there. They are ready to go. It's prepared for battle. That's what the word wait means here. It means that you must be prepared, you must be ready, so whenever it is spoken, whenever it is said, you are ready to go. Whatever God says, David says, we have this, I can trust in Him, I can do that, so that I can wait for Him. I can be ready so that whenever He speaks, I can do whatever He calls on me to do. That's what the word wait means. In Isaiah 40, where it says, "They that wait on the Lord shall gain new strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall walk and not become weary. They run and not become weary. They shall walk and not faint." That word for wait is the same word. It is prepared and ready for battle. And that's why I have in my office, you ever go in my office, you see eagles everywhere. One of the reasons they were an amazing bird and have a lot of connections with scriptures in the Bible. The main reason I have them in there, and several of them have the scripture with them, is a reminder to me to wait for the Lord. They're the ones that gain new strength. I don't get it by stepping out in front of Him. I don't get it by being lazy. I don't get it by helping that if something happens, everything will turn out okay. I am to wait for the Lord. I am to prepare every day. I am to be ready each day. I'm to follow Him each day. And whether there are many orders to march or orders to prepare, I am doing that so that I wait on the Lord, so that I will have the strength to do everything that He wants me to do. The strength that I need to follow Him, the strength that I must have to have the certainty, the absolute confidence of who God is, only comes when I wait for Him. It only comes whenever each day I am ready. Each day my life is prepared. Each day is a matter of preparation. I don't do this and hope that later on something will happen later. Can you imagine someone who is a boxer or UFC, trains for 6 months, and then he has another 6 months after that and does nothing? Training before would have done him no good at all. My training with God, my preparation with Him, must be continual. It must be day after day, moment after moment. It must be drawing closer and closer to Him. That's why I keep all those things in there, is to remind me I'm to wait for the Lord. Prepared battle. Trained. Send me out. And in that, some of you may recall during the first Iraq War, I was dealing with Kuwait. Do you know that every plane that Iraq sent up got shot down? They quit sending planes up. It wasn't because they were idiots. It's because they were going against better trained, better prepared pilots. They were able to do what they were commanded to do because they were trained and ready. The order was given to go out and do what they had been prepared to face an enemy who encamps against us. We fight against a foe who will fight against us every moment of every day, and he is more powerful than we are. The passage in Sunday school. He roars about like a lion, seeking whom he may devour. That's who encamps against us. That's who wages war against us. And I can have confidence against him because I have a God who is for me. I have a God who is my light and my salvation. I have a God who defends me. But I must wait for him. I must be that soldier, prepared, ready, set, day after day after day, regardless of what the command is. Be ready to go. See, if I haven't prepared for that, I'm not confident. If I haven't made myself ready for it, if I haven't done what's necessary to do that, the confidence level drops low. The certainty of him being my light and my salvation falters. I doubt him being my defender. Whenever I say, if God is for us, who is against us? Is then that I can list a number of things that are against me. Where are you with that? Where are you with that? Where is your confidence level with him? How well have you been preparing your life to be with him, be used by him, stand up against any foe? You may have that kind of confidence, that kind of certainty. God really can do all things through you. Father, it is easy to doubt. It is easy to have so many things come against us for so long. Hard to stand. You know this. You know where our hearts are. You know where we falter and where we fail. Father, help us that we may be strong enough in you that those who struggle because they don't know you may see the difference in us. Those who don't know and understand what it is like to have light and salvation fear so much and are dreading so many things. They may see in us a strength, confidence, a power they know could only come from you because of how great it is. So if we are not to there, help us to get to there. Help us to let go of things this morning. Help us to release those things that are holding us back. Help us to follow you in such a way. Wait for you. Really may see great and mighty things only you can do. In your name I pray. Amen. The hymn of invitation is Room at the Cross. And it just may be that you just need to get some things right with him. This song, There's Room at the Cross, is primarily a salvation hymn. But it may be that we need to remind ourselves to get back to him. So as we sing these words, as we go through this song, as a continuing part of our worship service, do so in ways that God is able to take a part of our heart, maybe have moved away from him, and draw it back to him. Let's stand as we sing.